My son is 8 years old and nothing embarrasses him more than his mama loving him like a baby. I get it. So we do this thing. I tell him I love him, and he has started saying back I know, so he doesn't feel embarrassed. Yesterday it dawned on me. I did it. I'm doing it. I'm the parent my parents never were. My sons would never question if I loved them. It would be the most absurd thing they had ever heard. Our family fights go to a soft level 5 at their worst. There are no situations leaving lifetime scars. Home is safe. Home is fun. Mom's home and she loves us. It's really incredible. If you're trying to heal your wounds, just be the parent you never had. This life is a blessing and I'm so grateful today. Change can happen and change is real. Keep fighting out there, especially those still trapped at home. There is a better life waiting for you. Just hang tight and be strong. No congrats for college, nothing. My parents have been ignoring me for 2 weeks. Because of my career choice last week I got into NYU, one of the top schools in the nation. I can't afford to go. $70k/year. My parents don't know because they haven't spoken to me. I'm not getting any help for college. So I've been saving up my unemployment checks. My laptop is 10 over 11 years old and very slow and unreliable. So I'm saving up for a new one. Hopefully by the end of the month. I asked my dad for one last year and he got mad at me. I'm paying my own tuition deposit. I'm paying my way through college. I'm researching loans. Everything. There's no one to give me advice, so everything I know is from Google and news articles. I can't get any real human insight. It's really depressing. This is a big moment in my life. Going to college. I've been so close to not going to my top choice and just going to my cheaper state school, but honestly, I'm gonna take the risk. If I don't go, it'll be my parents winning again, tearing me down, not wanting anything good for me. I know who I wanna be, and I'm gonna aim for it. And if I fuck up, I fuck up. But I'm tired of giving up out of fear. I'm tired of living in fear. I'm tired of feeling like I'm a failure, no matter how much I accomplish. I've worked hard in ways these people don't fucking know, and now I'm gonna reward myself. I'm tired of holding back and giving up. Fingers crossed full semester is in person, because I'm getting kicked out, though life is fucking rough. This would be about 8 years after my mom and dad separated, when I was 4. This particular person might be the single most negatively impacting adult male in my childhood. We would regularly have debate about ethics, religion, and my work ethic. Honestly, growing up I was lazy, mostly from depression and anxiety. I spent majority of my free time playing games. The debates were more along the lines of pointed lectures in which the only winning was accepting that I was wrong. On one incident I had a friend over, and after a particularly heated debate I exploded a cup by squeezing out of anger. He ran off, while my friend used a tweezer to pick glass out of my dominant hand. Obligatory. I don't post on Reddit much, so I DK if I'm breaking the rules, but I did try to follow them, and sorry for the long post. A little bit at my situation. Mom, cool parent, love her. Divorced my narcissistic dad a while ago because of his narcissism and gaslighting towards her, and my younger brother, 15 meters, and I, 19F2 non-binary, because I'm still living at home and dependent on my dad, military, and I'm not in a place to choose with parent to live with because of the narcissism. Not what I told him. Obviously, I stay at whichever house my brother is at. Both my parents have significant others, but I'm not overly fond of my dad's GF, because we just don't really socialize. I'm also non-binary and A/B, which everyone in my immediate family knows about, and knows that I'm unapologetic about it. The fact that my dad won't just come out and admit his homophobia and hides behind his opinions is killing me. One constant argument my dad and I have is that he doesn't have the right to use whatever slurs he wants to under the guise of freedom of speech, and here's the thing. I do not give a single crap about anyone's freedom of speech. It does not give you the right to say whatever slurs suit your fancy. This started at least 3 to 4 years ago when he and I got into a big fight about using the N-word. Yes, that N-word. He thought that it was perfectly fine for white people to use, and I, for the first time, put my foot down and said no, I will not tolerate this. It is racist to use that word, and you are a racist for arguing, in front of your children, that white people should be allowed to use it. After we fought, I begged my mother to change him. She said she couldn't, and realized then that he deserved to get divorced, and divorced him. Since then we have had this fight multiple times with multiple levels of intensity. I have since come out as bi, and I learned after my mom divorced him that she outed me to him in a last-ditch effort to save their relationship, which elicited him calling me a D***K to her behind my back. I have also come out as non-binary. He doesn't respect my pronoun/name, but he at least is aware that I don't like being associated with the girl gender. I have come out to my brother too. He's old enough to understand what all that means. Which is why, when I caught my brother yelling F***GG**T at someone on his video game, I was seriously upset. I was holding out hope that my dad and brother would have enough decency to have a I never worried about women, until I had my daughter or my cousin is autistic, so you better back off type opinion. My dad just doesn't care that language is just generally unacceptable and hurts me deeply, and now he's teaching that to my brother. Although, from what few things I have read from this thread, I guess I shouldn't have had such high expectations. Did you know that, Dad? When I was a kid and I failed at something, no matter how benign, I used to bite myself as hard as I could. I hid the teeth marks pretty well. If you knew, would you have cared? Or would you have yelled at me for being a little baby? Did you know, when I stopped biting myself, I started to hit myself? I've become very good at punching my legs, arms, head, chest, thighs 35 fucking years, and I'm still doing it. If you knew, would you have helped me? Or would you just go back to watching your fucking reruns of Carl Sagan's Cosmos? How about now? If I told you now, what would your supposedly remorseful side of you do? Would you actually listen to me? Or would you repeat the same useless advice over and over until I agreed with you, just so you'd shut up? 35 fucking years, Dad. I've had to live like this for 35 years. And you try to say you know you screwed up. Fuck you. It was your job to raise and protect me. You failed on both accounts. That's not like leaving the front door unlocked. That's neglecting your flesh and blood. What hurts the most is that your other two kids, you know the ones, your firstborns, they're fine. They love you. And you love them. Well, I guess 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Am I right, asshole? It's interesting. Growing up, there was a pressure to perform on my birthday. My mom and dad are divorced at 6, and how my birthday would be handled was a new battle every year between the two of them. No matter what happened, whichever parent I saw the day of was always more concerned with whether I'd rather be with my other parent than enjoying it. On my mom's side, today would be my birthday party, but also combined with my sister's, May 24th, and my cousin, June 12th. It might have had to do with money, I'd get that, but my sister and cousin would always end up upset or fighting, and it'd be on me to reassure the family the party was still fun. On Ed's side, they were so scared of my mom that they fielded me with baby gloves, or like a visitor whose parents were late picking him up, and they weren't sure what to do with me. Once I hit 18 and on, I really didn't have any positive attachments to my birthday anymore. Just a day I might get some cool stuff in exchange for lying about how I'm doing or listening to cross-parent shit talking. But what I couldn't do was just not have a party. Both sides agreed on that. Interestingly, at 22, I ended up in what would become an abusive relationship and marriage, and the tradition more or less continued. Whatever I wanted to do would always be a massive inconvenience, but we were absolutely going to do whatever I wanted. We divorced in November, and so today is my first birthday without scrutiny. Without responsibility to validate the insecurities of two families on a day that, not to be selfish, is supposed to kind of be about me. Where I can indulge myself comfortably and celebrate myself. As I type this, I'm smoking my most munchy-inducing weed, eating Jack in the Box, loaded mini tacos, while a crock pot bubbles with my dinner tonight, binge watching the new Star Wars trilogy in my underwear. And I fucking love it.